So are you gonna absolutely fall in love with Grand Junction, Colorado? Well, we think you probably will, but let's have an honest conversation about it. Let's do it right after this, so stay tuned. What's going on, everyone? I'm Robert Hayes, and along with my wife Christie, we are the Hayes Home Group right here in Grand Junction, Colorado. And if this is your very first time to this channel and you want to know everything about working, living, playing, eating, sleeping here in Grand Junction, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, tap that little bell, that way you're notified every time we post a new video. If you're even thinking about moving here to Grand Junction, you gotta reach out. We are helping so many people from all over the country move here, and we absolutely love it. So if that's you, give us a phone call, shoot us a text, send us an email, even send that carrier pigeon. Whatever you need to do, we've got your back when moving to Grand Junction. Okay, so of course, since Christy and I live here, and we absolutely love it here in Grand Junction, Colorado. I've been here for almost 14 years now. Christy's grown up here since 1975, 1976. She's still 29 though, of course, but we wanted to make sure we went through just everything from a transparency perspective to make sure we gave you all the information you could possibly need to make the best decision for you if you're coming by yourself or you're bringing the whole tribe, the whole family's coming out here to Grand Junction. Just to give you an idea, this morning, the footage that we shot a little bit earlier, as you can tell, things have thawed out a little bit. That's not trickery of video. That's just me going back to the house and coming back out here. So it was a little too cold even for me. Folks, this is Colorado. It's gonna get cold here. It's December. So I think it was 28 degrees this morning, but with a little wind chill. I think it said the feeling was about 8 degrees. I mean, I've got a little jacket on here, but even for me, that was a little too brisk. Now you've got kids over there playing basketball in shorts, so just in a little matter of time, about 3 hours, people are out and about walking their dogs, just having a great time. But again, it's Colorado, it's gonna get cold, but the trade-off is, look at those blue sunny skies. We've got 250 sunny days on average here in Grand Junction. I mean, we're talking Florida stuff, Southern California stuff when it comes to sunny days, but it is going to be cold in the wintertime. So if you don't like cold, maybe Florida is the better destination for you. Maybe in Southern California is where you want to be. You're going to have about a 3-month stretch where it's going to be cold. In fact, I asked Christy, do you want to come out with me today? And she said, nah, I'm just going to hang out by the fire and finish up some paperwork. So, and I get that, but again, this weather now is perfectly fine for me. Just want to make sure it's fine for you too. So another full disclosure item that I wanted to talk about is the fact that we're in a little big city, let's call it. Got the ducks going in the background there, pretty cool little scenery. So I came from Southern California, and I don't know how many people are in that little 20-mile radius bubble now in Southern California, 3 million people. Grand Junction's about 65,000 people. So if you're used to, that hustle and bustle, you love that big city life, you want 300 choices to go out for the nightlife, you're not going to find it here in Grand Junction. I could probably tell you a handful of places that I would recommend to go out, if you're looking for the club scene, or there's some cool places here that you can go and we can recommend to go out and see some live music. And there's some wineries in the summertime that have live bands, jazz, all kinds of cool stuff. But again, it's a big little city. This isn't New York City, so if you're used to that, it's going to take you probably a good 30 days. You got people walking dogs. How are you?
I'm doing well, yourself?
Beautiful dog.
Thank you.
That's awesome. So again, it's not that cold right now to be out and about walking your dog, but going back to the big city life, if that's your thing and you want just a million places to go out and about and have some drinks, go clubbing, it's just not the scene here in Grand Junction. Again, it'll take you a few weeks to get used to it, but after that you'll be in good shape. Another thing about Grand Junction is that outdoor lifestyle is going to be all around you. You're going to have those single track mountain biking trails over there by the Colorado National Monument, west end of the valley, down there in Fruita. People come from all over the country, all over the world for that matter, to come out here and do mountain biking. But if that's not your thing, that's okay. It's just going to be all around you wherever you go. People are going to be on their mountain bikes, they're going to be on the river, doing the kayaking, paddle boarding, all that fun stuff. Really, that's the draw to come out here to Grand Junction. If you're a homebody, that's okay. Just want to make sure that you're aware that that's all around in Grand Junction, so maybe that'll give you perhaps some motivation to get out there and do some mountain biking, go on the hiking trails, all that good stuff. So is everything about Grand Junction all unicorns and rainbows?
The most glorious rainbow ever!
Well, just like any other city in the country, I guess it doesn't matter if it's Seattle, Washington, Omaha, Nebraska, Los Angeles, you name it, any city in the country is going to have an area of town, you have one in your town, that you probably don't want to either reside in or stay very long. And of course, Grand Junction's going to have that as well. So, you know, obviously the majority of the valley and all the clients that we've helped move here are completely ecstatic about their decision to move here to Grand Junction. But, you know, it's not perfect. No city's perfect. So if you're coming out here to think it's perfection wherever you go, it's just not the case, again, like with any city in the country. But we can certainly let you know, based on experience, you know, what to avoid and all those sorts of things. So just wanted to make sure that was completely transparent as well. So let's talk about the uniqueness of the minimal or no traffic here in Grand Junction. I think we've talked about that a million times. There's no traffic here. It's completely awesome. 14-minute average commute time, which who couldn't love that? But as far as the uniqueness, what I mean by that is, and I still get a kick of telling some of my friends that live in Southern California still, so you're at a green light, not an arrow in the left turn lane, but just a regular green light. And as you know, when that light turns green, you can go ahead and, you know, creep into the intersection slowly. And then when the oncoming traffic passes, you're already in the middle and you zip your left turn and away you go. Well, here in Grand Junction, they don't do that.
No, Miss Daisy, no. We're only doing about 19 miles an hour.
At least the majority of people don't do that. So the light turns green, you're behind someone, that's the first car in the left lane, and they just stay there. And they'll wait until all the oncoming traffic is passed. Then they'll creep out into the intersection and go. Drives me absolutely crazy. I don't know why that is. If that was a thing, you know, 40 years ago, and that's just passed on generationally, no idea. But if you're in the left turn lane and the person in front of you at the green light isn't going anywhere, just know that that's pretty normal stuff. So we spent the majority of the day yesterday with some clients that are here from the Oregon coast. I think it's the Oregon coast, I'm pretty sure it was. And they were telling us a story about their, you know, kind of looking around a few different spots in the country, the western United States, in search of their final destination. I think they finally did settle on Grand Junction. Yay. Let's just say it was a state north of here, so it doesn't really narrow it down too much. And they had a Oregon license plate, and driving around town, they were getting, I mean, verbally accosted, literally, by some of the people in that town that weren't really keen on out-of-staters, especially on the West Coast, coming into their state and possibly, I don't even know if they had any indication that they were thinking about moving there. That's not the case here in Grand Junction. We definitely have a welcoming attitude. We love people from all over the country, and it's, you know, it's treat others how you want to be treated kind of deal. Everyone's super friendly. They mentioned that actually to us today, going to lunch and then dinner and little shops that they walked into. Everyone had, you know, struck up a conversation. Where are you from? We're from Oregon, and oh, that's incredible. You know, we can't wait to have you move into our town. So very welcoming, very friendly, and that's a great thing that we love about Grand Junction. So another thing that you probably want to be aware of coming from wherever you're coming from in the country is you'll probably have on occasion an opportunity to see someone that's just walking around open carry sidearm. That's pretty normal stuff here in Grand Junction, Colorado. I have no beef with that, no problem with that at all. If that's something that you're not used to or you want to, but you're not allowed to where you live, you're certainly welcome to do that here. As far as this whole COVID madness stuff, if your kids are in remote learning and have been since day one, all the schools opened up on time for in-person learning here in Grand Junction. They closed down for a couple of weeks and that was it. We went to a restaurant a couple of nights ago with some good friends to indoor dining, so everything's open here. Again, if that's something that you'd really like to kind of latch onto and have that lifestyle and kind of not be so locked down and have those mandates that might be really putting a cramp in your style, so to speak, where you're at, it's certainly a very open, welcoming community for that as well. So last but certainly not least, let's talk a little bit about the cost of living. I think it's no secret, we've talked about it many times on this channel about housing costs being about $290,000 median home price, which maybe that's a whole lot less than what it is than from where you're living right now, which is super awesome. Gas prices are $2 something a gallon. Again, might be much lower than where you're at now, and that's all good stuff. Third lowest property taxes in the country, the state of Colorado. They have some great incentives tax-wise for retirees here in the state of Colorado. So again, all good stuff. But you know, you're gonna pay 38 cents for a gallon of milk? No. You know, food cost, health cost are probably on par, maybe a little less health cost here in Colorado. But the main savings that you're going to have, which is the biggest one, obviously, if you're in a $800,000 home here or there in, let's say, California, you can buy that same house here for probably $375,000, $400,000 and pocket that $400,000 and be on your way. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that was transparent and honest. If there's anything else that you want to know about, please leave it in the comments below. We'd love to know about it, maybe even shoot a video about it. But again, if you're brand new to this channel and you just want to know everything about working, living, playing, eating, sleeping here in Grand Junction, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap that bell, that way you're notified every time we post a new video. And if you are thinking about moving here, you gotta reach out. Give us a phone call, text message, email, even send that carrier pigeon. Whatever you need to do, we've got your back when moving to Grand Junction. Until the next video, we'll catch you later.